Senator. I understand we have Senator Markey virtually.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. And thank both of you for your long-term service to our country. We hope that you will be given the opportunity to continue, because I think you'd be enormous assets to ensuring that we have a safer, better world that we're living in for everyone in our society. If I may, Ms. Sherman, just want to go through a few bits of facts from the past so that we can just establish it as part of this hearing record. Before you helped to get the world's major powers and Iran to the negotiating table, Iran was about 2 months away from producing enough highly enriched uranium for its first nuclear bomb. Is that correct?
Yes, that was the assessment.
And after all sides began implementing the Iran nuclear deal, that breakout time extended to more than a year. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Senator Risch asked you about enrichment, so I'd like to go back to that. As part of the Iran nuclear deal, Iran reduced its stock of low-enriched uranium by 98% to 300 kilograms. But as a result of the Trump administration's unilateral exit from the Iran nuclear deal, that number increased to 12 times over that 300 kilogram limit. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, yes, sir.
Okay, so again, while many of my colleagues have spent time criticizing the Iran deal, the effect of that arrangement did dramatically reduce the ability of Iran to have a quick breakout time towards producing a nuclear weapon. And I just want to make sure that all of that is out on the table. And again, you played an instrumental role in ensuring that that would be part of that agreement. So compliance is what President Biden is now saying his goal is. So can you just, again, expand a little bit more on what the Biden administration's policy will be in terms of compliance in ensuring that we do go back to a position where Iran's breakout time is lessened dramatically?
Thank you, Senator. It is my understanding what the Biden-Harris administration hopes to do is to get Iran to come back into full compliance with the deal. Then we would be in compliance with the deal, and that we would build from that to get a longer and stronger agreement, given that the deal is now some years old. And as you have pointed out, Iran has now increased its stockpile, increased the depth of its enrichment, increased many of its capabilities, using more sophisticated centrifuges as a result of our leaving the deal, and that we would not only get back to where we were, but we would build a better, stronger, longer platform, and then we would address the other issues of concern. And as you pointed out, Senator, that one-year breakout time is critical because it allows us, if for some reason Iran is able to cheat, though there were the most extraordinary verification and monitoring mechanisms, we would have time to slap back on sanctions or even to take military action. So we would maintain all of our options to ensure that Iran not obtain a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, and I agree with you. A one-year breakout time gives us time to put additional pressure on, but if it goes down to only 2 months or 1 month as a breakout time, our capacity to respond is obviously diminished dramatically. So I think the approach which the Biden administration is taking is the correct one. If I could just move over to Burma, that recent coup carried out by the Burmese military against the democratically elected civilian government has been condemned by the Biden administration. And I welcome the steps which the administration has already taken, including imposing targeted sanctions against the military. What role do you think China should play in partnering with the United States? And do we have a capacity to get China to partner with us in order to put pressure on the military in Burma to allow for the civilian democratically elected government to return to power?
Thank you for that really important question, Senator. It is my understanding that Linda Thomas Greenfield, our ambassador now to the United Nations, is going to use our platform, since we are in the presidency in the month of March, to have a more serious discussion in the UN Security Council about Burma and encouraging China to urge a return to a democratically elected government and to end the military coup, which in its wake is just having a horrifying impact on the rights and the freedoms of the Burmese people. We have lots of issues with Burma even before this coup, given the treatment of the Rohingya, but now it is of great concern for all of the people of Burma and their freedom and their way forward. I applaud Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield for taking this subject up as one of the first things that she does. And Secretary Blinken has made it very clear this is a very high priority for him, and to not only look at those sanctions, but see that we get everyone engaged in ensuring that we return the government.
Okay, thank you. And I do believe we have to put much more pressure on those military leaders, and I hope that that's part of the Biden plan. And no one's done more thinking about the North Korean nuclear program than you have historically. You have just a rich history of the three generations of the Kim family and their attitudes about this issue. Could you give us your sense of what the steps should be that are taken by the Biden administration in conjunction with the regional allies, especially in order to reduce this ever-increasing nuclear threat from North Korea?
Thank you, Senator. It's my understanding that a review is going on in the administration to decide on how best to proceed with North Korea. Very tough challenge. Quite agree with you. It needs to be done with partners and allies in the region, particularly Japan and South Korea, but with everyone who has a stake in ensuring that Kim Jong-un does not develop even more nuclear weapons, greater delivery systems, and pose even a greater threat to the region and to the world. So I understand that review is ongoing, and if confirmed, I would be glad to be talking with everyone here more about it to get your views and ideas as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Cruz.